What's up, everybody? My name is Josh, and welcome back to another episode of the Driveway Detailer. On today's episode, I want to answer the question, is there a difference between a cheap foam cannon and a more expensive foam cannon? When I was just starting out learning about the finer details of detailing, I watched a lot of Pan the Organizer. And the very first Pan the Organizer video that I watched was a video on how to wash cars. And if I can find it, I will link it somewhere up here. I thought, like when I was detailing, when I was starting out, I thought like if I wanted to get the same kind of results that Pan the Organizer got, I needed to buy all the tools that Pan the Organizer had. So my very first foam cannon was an MTM foam cannon. It's this foam cannon right here. It's the foam cannon that Pan the Organizer had. And what I think I did wrong, or I could have done better at the time, is stepping back and thinking instead of spending $90 on a high-end foam cannon, is there something cheaper that will give me the same results for someone that's starting out who may not, and you may not need to spend that much money on a foam cannon. So let's check it out. So for this video, I have two different foam cannons. One is a little bit more expensive and one is on the cheaper side. The more expensive one is the MTM Hydro 2.0. And the cheaper one is just the cheapest foam cannon that I can find on Amazon. And so I want to see, is there a difference between the cheap Amazon foam cannon to the more expensive MTM Hydro foam cannon? So what are the production differences of these two foam cannons? So this is going to be hard to display in the video, but the quality of the plastics are pretty much the same. They're a hard plastic. The only differences between the bottles is the shape of the bottles. So this one, the MTM, has a wider base, so it stands up easier. This one obviously is a little bit more narrow. If you look at the foam cannons, they both have a narrow opening where the little nozzle part connects to the bottle. Both bottles have the same kind of plastic or rubber hose that goes down into the bottle of the foam cannon. So what you'll see here, so the differences in the foam cannons aren't in the bottle, but in the nozzle. So you can see that the construction of the cheaper Amazon foam cannon has a knurled edge for a better grip when you're securing and taking off the bottle. This one is, I don't know if this is a stainless steel or this is like a forged stainless steel, but you have forged stainless steel here, stainless steel connector here. So on the nozzles, they both serve they both kind of do the same thing. So if you notice on the MTM, as you spin the nozzle here, it gets wider. So the wider the nozzle gets, the thinner the stream of foam. But then the thinner the nozzle gets, the wider the stream gets. So this foam cannon does it too. So if you notice on the Amazon one, where the MTM right there, that is as narrow as it gets. On the Amazon one, this gets the two metal prongs here, the metal plates are completely touching. There's no gaps. But you can turn it and it'll widen. So like I said, when the little tongs here are more narrow, your spray pan will be wider, but now it's wide open and you'll get a more narrow stream of foam. On these foam cannons, you can see that you can adjust the foam to water ratio. So the plus side, so when the dial is on the plus side, that you get more foam and less water. But when you flip it all the way to the minus side, you get more water and less foam. Same thing here. It's with the cheap Amazon. There's a plus side, there's a minus side. More foam, less water for a plus. Less water, less foam, more water for the minus. So for purposes of this video, everything is the same. There are 16 ounces of water to 2 ounces of Adams Megafoam in both foam cannons to make sure that everything is the same. We'll be using the same source of water. We'll be using the same pressure washer. We'll be using the same pressure washer gun, and on the same vehicle. So everything will be the same. So the only thing that's different is the foam cannons themselves. So now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's start with the test. Okay, we're going to start out with the MTM, since I already know what to expect from this foam cannon. So, like I said, MTM hydro. So we can already see the thickness of the foam, right? The thick foam and the dripping. So this is the type of performance that you're going to get from your more higher end foam cannon. All right, so let's switch to the cheap one. So now we're all set up with the Amazon foam cannon. Let's go. The cheap Amazon one, earlier in the video, I talked about the little prongs on the inside here. If the metal tips are touching, then you won't get a very good performance from the foam cannon. So what I figured is that you need to back it off a little bit, so there's a little bit of a gap, and then you get what you're looking for. This actually isn't too bad, right? You see, you don't really tell the difference between the thickness. Like maybe it's a little bit, the foam is a little bit thinner than the MTM, but it's not really that bad for a sub $20 foam cannon. This is actually working really, really well. I'm very impressed. So my final thoughts on this video: both of the foam cannons are good foam cannons, but I would say the MTM is a little bit better. As I continued off camera, thinking about the MTM versus the Amazon foam cannon, I found that the MTM, I liked that the spread of the foam was a little bit wider, or actually a lot wider than the Amazon. I felt like the MTM didn't go through as much of the chemicals as fast. So what you had in your chemical bottle went a little bit longer. The Amazon, I didn't really like how narrow the spread of the foam was. I didn't like that you seem to go through a lot of the chemical like a little bit faster, but it's good for the amount that you pay for it. So my final thoughts are: no, you don't need to get something like the MTM. You don't need to spend $90 or $100 on some like Cadillac version of a foam cannon. You can get something cheap out on Amazon for $20 and just to get you started. And even you never even need to upgrade if you don't want to. It's a very serviceable foam cannon. And I think what I'd like to get, or another thing I'd like to get across, it's not about the tools, it's about the process that you take to to wash a vehicle. You can get everything you need from your local AutoZone or O'Reilly's or wherever you pick up your auto parts. Go to the detailing section and get everything you need. It's not about the how expensive the tools are, how nice the tools are. It's how you use them and the process you take. Thanks for watching this video. Once again, my name is Josh. This has been the Driveway Detailer. If you've liked this video, please give this video a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next one.